Hello, I'm Venus and I'm a music therapy student in Sydney. Today I want to share 3 things that you might find helpful if you are going through uncertain times, if you are unsure about the future, if you are paralyzed by what's in front of you, what's surrounding you. I came from a dark place in a different city, but what I'm going to share saved my life, and it might save yours too. If you have a mental breakdown, if you're going through uncertainties, this is what you need to hear. I moved my whole life to Brisbane for 5 weeks during a pandemic, traveling interstate, and things didn't go as planned as usual, and I had a mental breakdown, but I bounced back. So here are 3 things that I learned, that I took away with, that helped me deal with uncertainties, that really changed my life since 2 years ago, that I want to share with you. Maybe that might help you as well. So the first one is breathing. I know it sounds so ridiculous and sounds so cliche. You know, when you are in panic attack, people always tell you to take a deep breath, things will be okay, and you don't believe that. But the truth is, when you're in distress, when you're in panic mode, your breathing is impacted because you just can't breathe. You are caught up in your head. But breathing is directly linked to your emotions. And breathing is ultimately something that is 100% under your control. When I had the mental breakdown, alone in my accommodation, after some bad news, when I was crying, I remember this tip. And I just took a deep breath, breathe in for 4 to 5, hold for 2, and then breathe out for as long as I could. And that calmed me down and helped me tune into the body sensations, knowing that I was physically safe and it's just all happening in my head. Yeah, so my takeaway is that breathing helps. Breathing helps you deal with uncertainty and gives you a peace of mind. And the second thing that I learned the hard way about dealing with uncertainty is that you have to religiously practice information diet. What I mean by that is you need to protect your boundary and your mental health, especially when it comes to uncertain times like that. There was a time when I couldn't put my phone down for more than 2 minutes. I was refreshing all the apps that I had, all the channels, all the chats, every 2 minutes. I was in such a distressed place, and then I got so overwhelmed by all this kind of information, I didn't know what was real anymore. And that might resonate with you when it comes to the pandemic. You just keep refreshing the government page to see how many cases and if the hotspot place is near where you live or where you have been to. That sounds so overwhelming, but this is something that you can do. Information diet, because you are literally what you eat and what you take in. Imagine if you open your eyes first thing in the morning and grab your phone and check the news, it's going to ruin your whole day, ruin your mood, and you can't work from home, you can't do anything because you're paralyzed by the situation that is outside of your control. The takeaway is to practice information diet, because this is to protect your boundary, because your mental health is the foundation of whatever you do. And the third thing that really helped me, and I do it on a regular basis, is to have a solid routine that you bring with you everywhere. A solid routine gives you a sense of familiarity and control, because when the outside world is complete chaos, you can still control what you have at home. And some daily routines of mine include journaling, meditation, infrared practice, and workout. Because even when you're in lockdown, you can't go anywhere, you still have those things with you. So really think about what makes up your daily routine. It might be your favorite cup of coffee. It might be checking in with a friend. It might be, just like me, journaling and also listening to some music. Just find something that really keeps you grounded and gives you a sense of control, because this is what you need when you feel like you're in chaos. And the tips here is also to bring the routine everywhere with you. I have my Center app that I do the workout with, and also the meditation, and also have my yoga mat at home that I can do home workout anywhere I go. And I also use Notion to do my daily journaling. So these are things that I can bring everywhere with me, and that really help me in terms of dealing with uncertainty and navigating through uncertain times. Without them, I would be in such a dark place. I wouldn't be able to recover in just a day or two. Without all these 3 tips, I think I would need longer therapy and also medication. Because right before the pandemic, I was literally in a war zone. I put my mental health and the last thing on my list. I didn't care about that because I was so caught up in the reality that I saw and the physical place that I was in. It was a war zone 2 years ago in Hong Kong. That's why I learned all these things the hard way. And this is how I was able to bounce back quickly when I was alone in Brisbane, when I heard the bad news that I couldn't continue my placement because I wasn't fully vaccinated. I did have a mental breakdown, but I was able to recover because of what happened in the past, the lessons that I learned that was able to help me handle uncertainties, have peace of mind, be calm, and be able to sit comfortably among chaos. But you don't have to go through the hard way. You don't have to go through traumatic experience to get to this point, because now I'm telling you what helped me, and it might help you as well. So yeah, if there's one thing that you take away from this, is that protect your mental health and set your boundaries and know what works for you, and know that there's not many things that's within your control. When your mind is a complete mess, you can still thrive because you have control over your own thoughts, your emotions. That comes from your breathing, that comes from how you live your life, that comes from how you set your boundaries, how you prioritize your physical and mental health.